Hi everyone, thanks for joining me on the Light Journal podcast. I'm Jamie Perez. Today I'll be discussing the question, how do we serve? This is the 4th episode of the Human Programming series. If you haven't had a chance to listen to the first few episodes, I encourage you to do so. How we serve. What a question, right? How do we serve? Whom do we serve? Why do we serve? The answer depends on who we ask. If we ask those around us how we might serve, their responses will probably be self-serving. For example, if we ask our parents how we serve, they might say it's by providing for them in their older years. If we ask our schools how we can serve, schools would probably say it's by learning what is taught and graduating. Our employers would probably tell us it's by being productive. Our government would say it's by being obedient and following their rules. And churches would probably say it's by doing whatever the church expects of us. But what happens if we ask that question of ourselves? How would we answer it? Well, it really depends on who we believe we are, or who we're programmed to think we are. If we believe we are only our body, the skin we're wearing, we might say we serve in the same way that animals do. We live, we reproduce, and we die. If we believe we're the mask we're wearing, our programmed ego according to Carl Jung, then we might say we serve by doing all the things society expects of us. Finishing school, getting a job, marrying, rearing children, working until retirement, and then fading into obscurity in some nursing home somewhere. We are sentient, from our cells to our egos to our consciousness. This is true from the moment we're born, if not before. We live on multiple levels, and each level has its own needs. Cells hold the memories of all their experiences like a hard drive, suggesting that living in this body is a service all by itself because we are adding to the knowledge and experience of the greater quantum field. So we'll call this the first level of service. Our ego, or the mask that we wear, is a reflection of who and what we think we are, based on all the human programming we absorbed from society. It's filled with lies that we tell ourselves and lies we tell others. Things like, we're happy when we're not, or that, sure, we agree, when we do not. How often do we smile when we want to frown? Well, that too is an ego mask, and it's lying about our true feelings. We accept what is illogical and irrational because it's expected of us. Too often we put aside our intuition and inner guidance because it won't give us the external approval we need. We do what we have to do to get along with society. But all the while, there's something inside that's telling us we're a fraud, we're an outsider. We get so good at pretending, though, that we forget what we truly are. We get lost in our own self-deceptions. So then, discovering our authentic self beneath all the self-deceptions would appear to be the second level of service. It's because of quantum entanglement that we exist in higher forms, and that makes us multidimensional. Our consciousness exists apart from this body. So when we ask how we serve, it isn't just about this body and human psyche. It's about something much greater than ourselves. According to quantum theory, we're not in one place or another. We're all in a state of quantum entanglement. I'd like to read a few quotes from the article, Why More Physicists Are Starting to Think Space and Time Are Illusions. And I quote, "Entanglement implies that everything in the universe is part of a single, unified whole. Entanglement is much more than just another weird quantum phenomenon. It is the acting principle behind why quantum mechanics merges the world into one and why we experience this fundamental unity as many separate objects. Nathan Seberg, a leading string theorist at the Institute for Advanced Study at Princeton, New Jersey, is not alone when he expressed these sentiments. I'm almost certain that space and time are illusions. These are primitive notions that will be replaced by something more sophisticated. These quotes indicate that we are not only entangled with the universe itself, but with everything. We're entangled with everyone on the planet. Doesn't matter what it is. Plants, animals, insects, fish, water, air, fire, our fellow humans. At a subatomic level, we know everyone and everyone knows us. And it's all without saying a single word. We then reinforce this quantum entangling every single day with everyone and everything we interact with. Crazy thing is, that entanglement doesn't ever go away. It exists forever. This means that our daily thoughts, attitudes, and feelings become entangled with our environment, with our family, friends, the world around us, everything. It's all interacting at a subatomic level. Everything is influencing everything else. This has huge ramifications. Just imagine we're thinking fearful, negative, or defeating thoughts about our world, people, our government, society, America, Europe, Africa. Doesn't matter what it is. Those thoughts enter into the quantum field, into our reality, and become part of it. It affects and damns not only us, but the world around us and humanity itself. The way I see it, it's like an echo that never stops reverberating. So if you've ever wondered why sometimes your skin crawls, or you feel a heaviness that just settles over you, or you get intrusive thoughts, it may be due to someone's thoughts, feelings, or attitudes being directed towards you. This returns us to the question of how we serve. Apart from simply living in this world and discovering our authentic self, the third level of service involves using our self-awareness and introspection to interject higher and more positive vibrations into our reality. So how do we do that? Once you're aware of entanglement and how your thoughts, your feelings, and your attitudes may not be your own, you can break free of its power over you. It's through self-awareness and introspection that you begin to see the lies you've believed. When you look in the mirror, you can see past the mask that you've been wearing to the real person beneath. And the more self-aware you are, the less fear will control you. Because after all, most fears are generated and amplified by our society. The more introspective we become, the more sensitive we become to the lower and negative thoughts, feelings, and attitudes that we once thought were normal and a part of us. With awareness comes the tools to re-see and re-know those thoughts, feelings, and attitudes, and learning how to let them go. Through introspection and self-awareness, we can serve humanity and the planet itself by interjecting higher thoughts, attitudes, and feelings into our entangled reality. These will change reality at a subatomic level for everyone. In that way, self-awareness and introspection becomes a vital step towards manifesting a new world. So what's the fourth level in which we can serve? It's by raising ourselves to a higher perspective or higher frequency by aligning to the greater consciousness. As I understand it, quantum physicists theorize that we are all part of one entity with an infinite number of frequencies. Humanity may exist at one of the lower frequencies, but it's still part of the spectrum. Like an antenna, we can tune into other frequencies, and those frequencies can provide us with a higher and broader perspective of our existence. The best way to explain this is with an analogy. So Imagine we're walking through the woods. There's no path, no signpost, nothing to guide us on our way, so we're just walking aimlessly. We hope we're going in the right direction, but we're really not sure. Imagine what happens if we come across a drone. From anywhere in the forest, we can send that drone up until it rises so high above the forest that we can see where the forest ends and begins. With the drone as our eyes, we can see and follow a river that runs through it. We can see an old log road leading into a nearby encampment where others are currently working. At this point, we're no longer lost or wandering aimlessly because we can see ourselves from a higher perspective. That's what it means to access our higher consciousness. It reveals what's already there, though we've been too limited to see it. When we tune into higher frequencies and the beings that dwell there, we can walk with confidence, knowing our destination lies ahead. We can make wiser choices because we know our options. That's what it means to serve at the fourth level, living and walking in attunement with the greater consciousness. At the fifth level of service, we begin making peace with our past by recognizing the lessons we came here to learn. This can be a really difficult level to work through because in many cases, we want to hold on to our pain and our grievances and our traumas. But for this level of service to take place, we have to start letting our past go. We can't use excuses of, I'm this way because this or that happened to me. We can't excuse our behaviors, thoughts, or attitudes based on anything that happened in our past. This is where we recognize and honor those experiences as lessons. Lessons that we came here to learn, and then we let the pain and trauma go. We keep the learning, but we release the baggage. We release the self-destructive cycles and reinforcing patterns, where we say, enough, I get it. Here is where our thoughts, feelings, and behaviors are reknown and reseen through the lens of self-acceptance, self-love. And just like that, the pattern is broken. Just like that, we recognize the lesson. It may take a while to extract ourselves from the consequences of all those repeating cycles, but with that knowledge, we get new choices. Life after life, we've been challenged to do and be our best. And life after life, we've had to repeat the lessons until we finally understood them. Once the lessons are learned, we don't have to go through it again. Our future incarnations don't have to go through it again because that knowledge has been learned. It's already a part of them, a part of us. We did that. We gave our future incarnations the wisdom they now will be born with. This is where the sixth level of service begins. Having learned our lessons, the traumas are replaced with peace and love, joy, confidence, compassion, unity, all the other attributes of the higher self. In many religious traditions, these are known as fruits of the Spirit. They become the low-hanging fruit that's easily accessible to ourselves and to all those around us. And that was possible because we changed. Recognizing and appreciating the lessons of our life changes us. We lose our fears, our insecurities, our feelings of worthlessness and inferiority. We know who we are. We've leveled up our service by healing our past. It no longer has power over us. It doesn't trigger us or influence our behaviors anymore. We've let go of the pain, embarrassment, humiliation, grief, and regrets. We don't need those things to define us anymore. They no longer serve us because we've become someone new. And this is where a new level of service becomes possible. We become an example. We've overcome the odds. We've let go of the past. Others find hope. At this level, our service is simply being us, the example of a transformed life, the example of a healed life. The seventh level of service is the last and highest way in which we serve. It's through the power of manifestation and transformation. We've become our authentic higher self. We're bringing higher vibrations in the world with our thoughts, feelings, and attitudes. We've learned how to align with and access the higher consciousness. We see the world with new eyes and a new perspective. We've transmuted our past into lessons that have become part of the greater whole. And with those lessons, we've learned self-acceptance and how to simply be with nothing left to prove. Our fruits are now serving as an example and an illustration for all those who are seeking some sort of similar transformation. So what's left? What is left for us to do to serve? This is where we begin manifesting a new reality. Knowing who and what we are means we understand our relationship with the universal consciousness or monad. It isn't separate from us. We're part of it. Everything that exists within it. That means we are the monad, and the monad is us. We are one. If all things, all energy, vibrations, and frequencies are within the universal consciousness, then this monad can best be described as the source of all that is. It is the source of our reality. All things, all consciousness, all experiences exist within it. We humans are capable of changing our reality, of making it new and better. This is where we accept our role as creators, speaking blessings into being. We manifested our current reality into being through our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes, our behaviors. So there's no reason we can't manifest a new one. It wasn't just one person who corrupted this reality either. So it's going to take more than one person to redesign it, to re-know it, to re-see it. We, the entangled humanity, possess as much power to create as we possess to destroy. We've already brought fear, pain, poverty, loneliness, and suffering to the world. We've already corrupted what was beautiful. Now it's time to level up our service, the 7th level of service, and participate in manifesting a new reality, full of love, light, joy, collaboration, cooperation, abundance. It's what we're here to do. It's our highest level of service. As more and more people work through these levels of service, we will change the world. We will create a reality that benefits everyone. So how will we do it? Instead of fear, begin radiating love. Instead of negativity, radiate positivity. Instead of worry, radiate confidence. Instead of a poverty mindset, radiate abundance. Speak the words of blessing, restoration, rejuvenation, and resurrection. Speak it to the earth, the waters, the air, the fire, to people, to plants. See what's beautiful, worthwhile, and uplifting, and focus on these things. Reclaim what the world has rejected. The homeless, the criminals, the addicted, the war-torn, the hated, the damaged. See them for what they are. They're aspects of ourselves. They're part of the universal consciousness. Their fates are entangled with our own. When we damn them, we damn ourselves. In the same way, when we lift them up in our thoughts, attitudes, and behaviors, we're also lifting up ourselves because our fate is entangled. Our reality is entangled. The only way to restore the world is to restore us all. Thank you for listening. I'm Jamie Perez with the Light Journal Podcast. Blessings on your journey.